Sure. Good evening to everybody, beta. Let us try to talk about your next topic, that is diffraction of your light, beta. In the previous case, we have been actually talking about your interference, by which what are the different process by which interference is being produced. We have got a different method like YDSE, Lawyer's mirror, biprism, bipillet methods, isn't it? And different types of your what do you call that methods to produce the interference. Now see, diffraction is not a separate phenomena. It is exactly again the same phenomena as of your interference. But what is happening is in the interference, it is because of the two waves coming from the two slits. Okay, so that means the two waves have been interfering. So we have been getting the point of your bright and as well as of a dark. In interference, there is also simultaneously diffraction is also going to be happen, but that is not seen generally because interference, because of the two waves are dominating compared to the diffraction, or due to the what do you call that one bending of a ray of light, which is actually because of your wavefronts. Even though in every interference there is a diffraction, but diffraction is right now not as dominant as of your two waves of interference. That is the reason we can't see the diffractions in the double slit experiment. So in order to see the diffraction very prominently, a scientist called as of Grimonde in 17th century has done a number of an experiment, and he has given certain conclusions. So let us try to talk about that conclusions right now, what exactly is happening. Now see, from your school days you have been studied that light is nothing but what, beta? Light is nothing but what? Light always obeys the property of a rectilinear propagation of light. That means it is been moving in the straight line. So light travels in straight line. Light travels in your straight line. Okay. However, when light passes through the small holes, you might have been seen, like say any times in the movies or maybe in your homes also, generally if a room is very dark and if there is a keyhole in that one, if you take a torchlight and keep the if you incident the light on that hole, you will be seeing the shadow of that hole on the ground and it is enlarged. See, if the light was not having the property of your bending, whatever might be the shape of your what do you call that one hole, the same size must be formed as a shadow on the surface. But we are seeing the size of that one to be highly enlarged. That is reason. What is the reason for that one? Light shows the phenomenon of your bending of your lights also same. So that is the reason when it is behaving as of a wave particle nature, it has the property of your bending. So generally light travels in a straight line. However, when light passes through a hole, when light passes through a small hole, there is a certain amount of spreading of light. Certain amount of spreading of your light, isn't it? Even when a light passes through an obstacle, it appears to bend around the edges of the obstacle and enters into the geometrical shadow. Like see, for example, if I'm taking this one as of your screen, and here is, say for example, an obstacle like this. An obstacle like this. Ray of light from this one, this is a source of light, actually travels in a straight line. Let us try to draw the diagram for this one. This one is your screen and this is your obstacle. Obstacle means a block, like a cardboard, which is blocking the ray of light. Actually, if I am taking the ray of light from this source, this will go like this, straight line, and this will also go through this one in straight line like this, and this will also go in a straight line like this, upper part before touching the given condition. So all the ray of light which is going in this one is able to seen on the screen. So this point A and this point B on the screen is called as of your illumination region. Is called was illumination region. That means where light is being present. If I take somewhere this position A dash, if I take this position somewhere B dash, this region A to A dash is known as of your shadow, also called as of your geometrical shadow. That means complete dark. And here also B to B dash is also called as of your geometrical shadow. That means where there is no light. Actually, if there is a ray of light which has been traveling even in the straight line, A and B should only be the region of your illumination. If I take an obstacle like this, like say if I'm keeping an obstacle something like this now, like say for example, this is your screen and the obstacle is in front of this one, something like this, opaque object. Like say this one is nothing but what? Opaque obstacle. And this one is nothing but of your screen. And again, this is the source of light, S. From this source of light, the ray of light will try to incident like this. There is no process of going, so it will come back. The ray of light, when it is just touches the above, before touching the above, it will travel like this in a straight line. And it will travel in this region like this, before touching the ray of light, before this given condition. Okay, that means there should be no light in this region. If this is A and this is B, isn't it? The region A to B, whatever I'm saying right now, as there are no rays in this one, this should be your shadow region. That means there is no ray of light. And from this one, see, the remaining rays of light, whatever I'm taking, the screen is a little bit larger, I'm drawing right now here, just for your understanding. The another ray of light from this one will fall like this. Another ray of light will fall from this one. Another ray of light will fall like this. Another ray of light will fall this one. So this region A to A dash, and this region in the downward, whatever I'm taking right now, B to your B dash. This region B to your B dash, and this region your A to your A dash, where light is being present. That region will be called as of what, beta? Illumination region. Illumination region. That means light is present in that region. Down also there is a light present in this region. So this is also your illumination region. Illumination region. Because here we are not seeing anywhere the bending of ray of light. We are talking about only straight line. If we take the scale and draw the ray of light for this one, they are exactly going in the straight line. Okay? In the above condition, if there is a small hole right now in an obstacle, the ray of light is seen only in A to B. That region I'm calling it as an illumination region. And above should be a dark and below should also be a dark region. Whereas if I'm keeping an obstacle in between, an opaque obstacle, opaque means completely blocking the ray of light from that one region, isn't it? So in this one, when the rays of light is being incident on this one, so it is reflecting back like this. This ray of light, when it is incidenting on this one, this is also reflecting in the backward direction part, isn't it? So it is not allowing that rays of a light to fall. Even in this ray of light which are being falling on this one, they're not having a property to incident on this one right now. So with whatever angle they have been incidenting, the same angle they have been reflecting in the backward direction, isn't it? So that is the reason this region is completely a shadow region. This region is completely a shadow region, whereas A to A dash is illumination where the light has been present, and B to B dash is nothing but of your illumination region where the light has been present. Actually, when the light is moving in a straight line, this should be the given condition right now for me, isn't it? Now, when light passes by an obstacle beta, it generally appears to bend. Like say for example, when you're sitting in a room and another person is sitting in the another room, if you talk a little bit louder, isn't it, your sound is able to be heard by the other person who is sitting on the other room, because velocity of sound is 330 meter per second, it is in meters, and the wavelength of the light, whatever you are also taking in terms of your wavelength, also we are taking in terms of your what do you call that, meters. So it is comparable. So that is the reason the sound waves are bending. But when I'm talking about the light, have you seen any time that light will bend on its own and go into the second room, third room, and can see the object which is present in the third room and come back? No, Gada, isn't it? So that is not happening in the given condition. So that what a scientist called as of a Grimaldi in 17th century was doing an experiment. He told that whenever the ray of light is been going in the front direction, if that ray of light, whatever is been going, if the holes are being comparable to the wavelength of your light, if the holes are being comparable to your wavelength of your light, then the diffraction phenomenon can be seen. Let's see, for example, if you might have been seen that aeroplane, when it is on the ground, you can be able to see the shadow of that one. But when it is on the sky, will you be able to see the shadow of that huge object which was very huge on the surface of the earth? When it is going at a certain height, can you be able to see the shadow of that one on the ground? No. The birds are also flying. You will never see the shadow of that one on the ground. Reason for that one is because the bending of the light is right now they're very, very larger compared to given condition. Anyhow, so what I'm talking about in the diffraction is nothing but whenever we are taking the ray of a light particulation, it will try to bend if and only if the obstacles are comparable to the wavelength of your light particulation. So I'll write here one point right now. See here, a scientist called Grimaldi in 17th century in 17th century told that, this is actually not required for your general knowledge, I'm telling you, told that if size of aperture or obstacle is is comparable to is comparable to wavelength of light, comparable to wavelength of light. Yes beta, hello,
Yes, sir.
someone is calling me. Okay, wavelength of light is how much beta? Somewhere around 4000 angstrom to 7000 angstrom, or 4500 to 7500, that approximate range I'm taking right now. If the size of your aperture, this is very important, if the size of your aperture is comparable to the wavelength of your light, then only we can see diffraction. We can see diffraction. Now what exactly is a diffraction? I'll tell you. See here, diffraction means diffraction is nothing but the phenomenon of bending of the light, the phenomenon of bending, the phenomenon of bending of light around the corners of small obstacles are apertures and its consequent spreading into the regions of geometric shadows or geometrical shadows. Geometrical shadow is called diffraction of light. I'll help you once again. Is called diffraction of light. In one word, you try to remember, it is nothing but bending of light. It is nothing but what? Bending of light. Now see this diagram better. Actually, if it is one only straight line, the ray diagram, whatever I have drawn right now for this one, it should actually only move in the front direction. But what happened is when Grimaldi was doing an experiment, the same experiment particulation when he was doing, he found that when he was taking this one as of your screen, and this one was right now a small aperture in front of that one. So this one is of, say for example, a small aperture. I'm keeping a small aperture right now here. Same diagram beta. This is your small aperture. What do you mean by aperture? A small opening. Okay, small aperture. A small aperture, and this one is your screen. And this one is your source of light. Actually, this should be the ray diagram. Straight line like this. And this straight line like this. And this straight line like this. This should be the actual diagram. But when he was doing an experiment, he found that certain light at this corner slightly bended and enters into this region. And here also certain light started bending and it started entering into the region. Actually, from here A to B was only your illumination region. And the remaining A to A dash and B to B dash was shadow. But now light started and moving in that one. This is the light which started moving in this one. That means it is encroaching, it is entering into the region of your dark, geometrical dark. And this bending of light at the small corners is called as of your diffraction. This is right now what here? Bending of light. Bending of light at sharp edges. At sharp edges is called diffraction. Is it clear for everyone? Is it clear, beta? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Now in the
Yes, sir.
second diagram also you see better. If I'm trying to draw the second diagram, I'm roughly drawing here right now. This is your screen and this one was your obstacle, isn't it? And here is somewhere your source. isn't it? So this straight line will touch right now here, and it will go like this. And here this is a straight line which is going like this. And here this is a straight line, but this range, the region from A to B is your geometrical shadow. This is your geometrical shadow. But when he was doing an experiment for his what you call the goodness, he got to see that at the sharp edges right now, the ray of light started bending like this. And here also this ray of light started bending like this. So this bending of the light into the geometrical shadow is called as of your diffraction. Actually, if it is a straight line, this should be diagram better. This is for your geometrical straight line, or what do you call that one, rectilinear propagation of a light. But due to the diffraction of the sharp edges, what is happening? The ray of light started bending. That bending of a light is called as of your diffraction. I hope you got roughly idea about the diffraction, everyone better. So what do you mean by the diffraction of a light? Light travels in a straight line. However, when light passes through the small hole, there is certain amount of spreading of the light. What is the size of the small holes? The small holes are comparable to what? Wavelength of your light. I have written here, see, the size of the hole or aperture or obstacle must be comparable to the wavelength of your light, that is around 4000 angstroms to 7000 angstroms. Then only we can see the diffraction. So what do you mean by diffraction, beta? The phenomenon of your bending of a light around the corners of your small obstacles is called as of your diffraction. In our syllabus, we'll be studying the diffraction under the two cases, beta. So this one is about your diffraction. In our syllabus, we study under this one in two cases. One is called as of your Fresnel's diffraction. Fresnel's diffraction. The another one is called as of your Fraunhofer's diffraction. Fraunhofer's diffraction. Okay. Now what is the difference between them? You see, Fresnel's diffraction is nothing but in this one, source and screen are placed close to the aperture. Aperture means hole, or the obstacle, or an obstacle. Obstacle means nothing but opaque object, isn't it? And the light of the diffraction appears to converge towards this one. That means as the sources of light are very incident wavefronts will be either in this one. This one is very important. Incident wavefronts are either spherical or cylindrical. All cylindrical. They are very nearer. If it is a point source, you know that from point source, the ray of light which have been coming out will be in the form of what right now? Spherical wavefront like this. They are going in this direction, isn't it? So there may be either in the form of a what? A spherical wavefront, or it may be a cylindrical wavefront particulation. But this experiment we are not studying in our syllabus right now. So we will be studying only about your Fraunhofer's diffraction. Now what exactly is of your Fraunhofer's diffraction you see right now? In the Fraunhofer's diffraction, whatever the given condition you're taking, source and screen set, not screen, or source and screen are effectively at infinite distance. Are effectively at infinite distance. And you know that when a point source is at infinite distance, then what type of a wavefront will be able to see better? We'll be able to see the plane. And so in this one, the wavefronts will be plane. That is the difference between them. So in Fresnel's, they are very nearer, so we are getting either spherical or cylindrical, whereas in this one, the point source is very large, so this one, the rays of lights are appearing to be coming in the straight line. So if I take all of them, in the locus of all the points in this one, attach them, we are getting a plane wavefront. We are getting a plane wavefront particulation. And in this one only, we'll be studying the best example for this one is nothing but of your single slit diffraction. single slit diffraction. This is only the thing which we will be having in the syllabus that we will be studying in the detailed condition. Now try to come back once again beta what I was talking about. So diffraction is nothing but what? Bending of a ray of a light partition at the corners is called as of your bending. I have done it with the examples. You might have been got very good clear idea about that one. And when this bending of ray of light is being seen, so generally, the bending of a refraction of a light is generally every day it is being seen, but as in human being we can't see it because the light which is entering through the windows of your houses or through the doors of your houses are in meters. The height of the door in your houses maybe 6 feet or 6.5 feet, something like that, and windows maybe 3 feet or maybe 2.5 feet, something like that. And the wavelength of the light which is coming from that windows is like in angstroms. So the wavelength of the light which is coming through that holes, that is nothing but of your doors or maybe windows, are very large. That is the reason we can't able to see the diffraction with our naked eye. If the size of the obstacle is very, very, very less comparable to the wavelength of light, I told you pinhole. If you take a cardboard and take a pinhole and keep a torchlight in front of that one and keep a paper in front of that one, you will never see only a point source, but the light of that one is slightly increased. And the size of that hole, if it is like say 1 mm, you will be able to see 1.2 mm or 1.3 mm diameter on the paper partition because there is a slight bending of a ray of light when it is passing through the corners. So that bending of a ray of light is called as of your diffraction. And in our syllabus, we are having two types of your diffractions in our syllabus beta. One is known as of your Fresnel's diffraction, and another one is known as of your Fraunhofer's diffraction. Fresnel's diffraction is nothing but the diffraction in which source and screen are being placed very close to each other, and the wavefronts which you are able to see in this one is either spherical or the cylindrical. Whereas in the Fraunhofer diffraction, source and screens are effectively at an infinite distance. Therefore, the wavefronts, whatever you are seeing here, are nothing but of your a plane wavefront. It is nothing but of your plane wavefront partition. I hope you are clear about the introduction of your diffraction, but everyone. Is that answer ఇవ్వాలి నా చాట్ బాక్స్ లేట్ అవ్వదు నిద్రపోతున్నారు సార్ కొంచెం యాక్టివ్గా అండి లాస్ట్ మార్నింగ్ నుంచి నేను కూడా క్లాస్లో చెప్తున్నాను తెలుసా మార్నింగ్ 9 o'clock నుంచి క్లాస్ చెప్తున్నాను ఓన్లీ ఐమ్ గెటింగ్ ద టైమ్ ఫర్ ద లంచ్ ఇన్ మిడిల్ మీరేమో కాల్ పైన కాల్ వేసుకొని క్లాస్ ఉండడానికి కూడా ఇబ్బంది అయిపోతుంది చలో నెక్స్ట్ వన్ ఇంకా రేపటి నుండి నేను వీడియో ఆన్ చేసుకొని చెప్తాను అందరు వీడియోస్ ఆన్ చేసుకొని చెప్తాను ఇంకా చలో నెక్స్ట్ వన్ బేటా నెక్స్ట్ సైడ్ రెడీ diffraction at a single slit. Diffraction at a single slit. కొంచెం లాజిక్ ఉంటుంది దీంట్లో సో ప్లీజ్ ట్రై టు అండర్స్టాండ్ ఇట్ విత్ మీ అదర్వైజ్ ఇట్ విల్ బి వెరీ డిఫికల్ట్ ఫర్ యూ టు అండర్స్టాండ్ బై రీడింగ్ ఇట్ యువర్ మెటీరియల్ partition. Once you listen today and try to read it immediately from your Hesse Verma, you will get a clarity what exactly I was been trying to tell. In the diffraction, what exactly is happening, see right now. We are talking about single slit. That means the interference is right now again. So what we are talking about right now? We are talking about interference from a single slit. That means all the wavelets which are coming from the slit will act as secondary sources. Will act as of your secondary sources partition. So in this one, like see what exactly is the basic setup see right now. So if I'm talking about this one, so we are taking the screen right now here. This one is your screen, okay, and somewhere here also there is a aperture in front of this one, something like this. And if I'm taking the small eraser and if I cut this one and if I cut somewhere here, this is the thing which I'm cutting it, and this one is your slit. For your understanding, I'm drawing it very larger. This one is only a pinhole. Can every pinhole diagram I'm draw cheyalem kabatti, that is the reason for your understanding I'm making this one little bit larger. This one is nothing but of your screen, and somewhere here we are having a source which is actually producing the light. You know that from the source, what type of light will be produced? In all the three directions, 3D dimension, the ray of light will be going. Now, in front of this one, we are using a lens somewhere here. ఇక్కడ కూడా lens రఫ్ గా అర్థం చేసుకోండి. I'm not that clear in this one. So this rays of light from point source కాబట్టి this one is its axis and this one is its axis. The ray of light will incident on this one. What type of a wavefronts are been coming better? Spherical wavefront. I hope you can understand that one. Now you know that when we are keeping a convex lens, it will become parallel right now. This ray of light will incident on this one like this, and this ray of light will incident on this one like this, just touching the below part. And this ray of light will incident on this one like this. And this ray of light will incident on the convex lens again. And from here it will try to converge. That means it will try to converge and will form here somewhere a point. So this will be what? A central maxima. This will be what? A central maxima. Okay. Now what type of a wavefront we are getting here? If I take a locus of all the points which are been acting in the same direction, this one is your plane wavefront. This is a plane wavefront. And the distance of this slit, whatever I'm taking, that is nothing but A to B. The distance from this A to B, I'm taking it as of here. This distance is equal to your opening. This opening, I'm taking it as of your A or small d, anything depending upon your understanding. In between this one, whatever the rays of lights are been coming, they are acting as of your point source of your lights like this. That means they are acting as of what right now? These are all the wavefronts. They're acting as of what? Secondary source. That means from this one, the wavelet are going in the front direction with that, in everything in the front direction. Some of the rays, when it is been reaching here right now, will slightly bend and incident on this one like this. And here also some of the rays will try to bend above and below. So I'm taking only above condition and will reach here. And here it will try to undergo the further bending and it will meet somewhere here. And it will try to go somewhere bending here and it will meet here somewhere. So this is the point where it is been meeting, and that is nothing but of your screen. Clear? And with the vertical, it is making a small angle here, that is nothing but theta. And here also it is making a small angle, that is nothing but of your theta part. Again from the center also, one of the ray is been going right now. So this ray from the center will incident on this one like this. And from here it will bend and it will go to this one, this. Okay, that is a rough diagram of your single slit. So this one is nothing but of your what? A parent source. The wavelet which has been opening A, each and everything on this one will be acting as of your secondary sources. They are acting as of what? Secondary sources. That means in this one we are talking about three terminologies better. Number one, we are talking about your central maxima. We'll try to talk about your central maxima. Second one is we talk about your secondary minima. Secondary minima. Why secondary minima? Because from the source, that is nothing but A to B, that is nothing but slit, the wavelets which are going out are nothing but of your secondary sources. Kabatti, the dark or bright points which are forming on the screen is because of the secondary wavelets. That is the reason we are calling that one as of your secondary minima. And third point we talk about your secondary maxima. Secondary maxima part of a relation. Is that clear for everyone? Is that clear for everyone? Okay. Diagram అర్థమైంది అందరికి? Is the diagram clear? So what we are doing is we are taking a source of monochromatic light which is being placed at the focus of a convex lens, that is nothing but of your first lens. The ray of light will pass through that one, that will become parallel, and it is been passing through the slit A and B. And every point of the slit will be acting as of a secondary source. Thus ray of light are being right now going in a parallel, and in front of that one I'm keeping a convex lens so that they can converge on the screen, so that I can see where the point of maxima and minima are being going part of relation. The incident wavefront disturbs all the part of the slits of your AB. And according to Huygens wave theory beta, AB will become for me the source of what? Secondary wavelet, which will start in the same phase. Secondary sources which are in same phase. Which are in same phase. That means each and everything is undergoing the interference. This wavelet spread out in all the direction, causing the diffraction of the lens, and it will emerge on the through the slit of your AB. and through the convex lens it is being passed, they will converge on the screen either at the central maxima or at a point above or it may be below. Now, if I'm talking about a central maxima beta, all the secondary wavelets going straight along your AB are being focused at the center. So they add up constructively to produce what right now? Central bright fringe. So for this one, you should be seeing that at the center we'll be getting compulsorily the central bright fringe. Is that clear for everyone? So at the center what we are getting? Central maxima part of relation. Now let us try to talk about your path difference. Calculation of path difference. Calculation of path difference. Can anyone tell me how do you calculate this one? Suppose the secondary wavelets which have been diffracted at an angle theta are being focused at the p beta. The secondary wavelets start from the different parts of the slits, are in the same phase, but they reach the point P in the different phases, because the first one is traveling quite different distance and the wavelet which is coming from the B is traveling from the somewhat other distance. That means what I'll try to do is I'll drop a perpendicular right now on this one. So I'll take this pen. I'll try to drop a perpendicular from the slit of your A onto the B part of relation. That means see here I'm dropping like this ray. Okay, and it is making a small angle right now here. This angle is nothing but theta. So this point N, I'm taking this one as of your N. This is nothing but B. This BN will give me what? Path difference, because this is making an angle of your 90 degrees here, isn't it? Now see from the figure, if I'm writing for the given condition, path difference will be equal to how much? Path difference delta X will be equal to B to P. See the diagram better? B to P minus AP, minus of your AP. Where is it here? Yeah. Minus of your AP. So that will be equal to how much? That will be equal to B into N. So BP minus of your AP will give me what? B into N. That B into your N will be equal to how much for me? AB into your sine theta. That A to B I'm taking it as of your small a into your sine theta. Okay, so now path difference how much I'm getting? Delta X is equals to your A into your sine theta. Delta X is equals to how much for me? A into your sine theta. A is nothing but of your slit width. A is nothing but of your slit width. It is also represented by small d, but that's not a problem for the given condition. Is that clear for everyone? Okay, let us try to talk about your next slide heading. First secondary minima. First secondary minima. Now listen it carefully. Either అర్థమైపోతే ఇంకా మొత్తం అర్థమైపోయినట్లు ఇంకేం లేదు అయిపోయి you are being completely done with the wave optics and అర్థం. Now see here, if I'm talking about your wave optic for the what do you call that one? First secondary minima. Now see, I'm drawing the ray diagram right now once again. This is the slit opening beta. This is your A, this is your B, and here is somewhere screen part. Okay, this is your A to B opening, and in this one the rays of light have been going in the straight line like this, and this one also in the straight line like this, is it? And this one was also one central maximum. I'm taking the wave which has been making an angle theta and going like this, and this one is also making an angle theta and going. So this one is same angle theta, and this one is also same angle theta, and this one is also same angle theta, isn't it? And in between we are having the different sources like this, secondary wavelets part of relation. Okay, now this angle whatever I'm taking right now, say for example if this is theta 1, this is also your theta 1. Clear for everyone? So if I'm taking that angle as of your theta 1, Anirudh has raised the hand. Yes beta. Anirudh?
Nothing, sir. Sorry.
Okay, fine. So this is your A, this is a slit distance A, and this is making an angle of your theta part of relation. Now see here, A sine theta 1 will be equal to, if A sine theta, this is still coming in the ink shape, sorry. If A sine theta 1 is equals to lambda. Why lambda beta? See, in the interference we are taking lambda, n lambda for the maxima, but here for the first secondary minima I am taking A sine theta is equal to how much for me over lambda part. Now see here, from A to B, if this distance I am taking it as of your lambda, half of this distance means this will become for me how much beta? Lambda by 2. That will become for me how much beta? Lambda by 2. That means dividing the slit into two equal parts. Divide the slit into two equal parts. Two equal parts. Now see, the wavelet which is being present. Now see, exactly from A to B, the distance is nothing but how much for me? Or small a, isn't it? Now from path difference, if I'm taking B to N is equals to lambda, then from center to this point, exactly half of this distance, this is becoming how much for me? Lambda by 2. That means a point in between of this one. What is this here? Yeah. No, a point somewhere in between this one, a point somewhere in between this one, a point in between this one. This will be destructively interfering on the screen part of relation. Now see here, because a sin theta is nothing but lambda, and in between it is nothing but lambda by 2. So if I'm taking this point and this point, they will be destructively interfering on your screen part of relation, isn't it? Now we can divide the slit AB into how many parts beta? 2 parts. So I'll take this one as of your C, otherwise right now. So if I'm taking into 2 parts right now, lambda by 2. Now see, every point in upper half of your AC, there is a point in the lower half of CB for which the path difference is how much for me? Lambda by 2. I'm writing that point here right now, make it very clear. Every point in upper half, that is nothing but AC. There is a point in the lower half. There is a point in the lower half for which path difference is how much? Path difference is lambda by 2. Hence, the wavelet from the two halves will reach at the point P always in which direction beta? Opposite waves. Hence, the wavelets from the two halves reach the point P. Always in opposite phases. Always in opposite phases. That means they interfere destructively. They interfere destructively to produce minima. I'll help you out once again, don't take tension. So therefore, the condition for the first dark fringe will be equal to how much for me? Therefore, condition for first dark fringe is how much? D into sin theta 1 is equals to how much for me? Lambda. Similarly, second dark fringe, how much it will be beta? See, I'll try to help you out again with the diagram. So this one is your screen here right now, and here is your A, and this one is nothing but of your B, and the middle point is nothing but of your C. The ray of light which is been coming right now. So these are the rays which have been going like this. Okay, now divide the slits. The previously how much it was when it is lambda? 2. Now divide this one into your how many slits beta? This one is 1 here and this one is 1. And if I'm dropping a path difference right now, this is A and B. If I drop a perpendicular, this is your point of your N. And the path difference of this one, whatever I'm taking right now, this one is nothing but 2 lambda. That means this lambda from here to here, this will become how much for me? Lambda. Yeah. So, lambda by 2. That means this one and this one will be lambda by 2 again. They will interfere destructively again on the screen. Again, we'll be getting the minima part of relation. Whether you take lambda, 2 lambda, 3 lambda, 4 lambda, go on, the condition will be taken. Now, what I'm doing in the secondary dark fringe here right now, what I'm doing right now, divide the slit into how many divisions better? 4 equal parts. 4 equal parts. 4 equal parts divide in 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 parts में divide. when they are reaching everywhere opposite. So they are interfering in the opposite phase. So we are getting the destructive interference on the screen part. That means for second dark fringe, if I'm writing the condition, so d into sine theta 2 will be equal to your 2 lambda. Isn't it? So therefore, for nth dark fringe, if I am talking about nth dark fringe, d sine theta n will be equal to your n into lambda, where n will be equal to how much beta? 1, 2, 3, so on like that. Clear? Isn't it? So as the theta is very, very small, I can write this one, sine theta is equals to how much for me? Or n. So that means sine theta n is equals to n into lambda by small theta. As theta is very small, I can write theta n will be equal to your how much? Theta of your nth will be equal to n into lambda by your small t. So this is the angle made during the diffraction by a light, provided wavelength is very, very lesser than of your d, so that I can write here sine theta n is equals to theta n part of relation. Clear for everyone? Come back once again. I know you are getting confused, so I'll help you out once again. You see right now, I'm trying to talk about the calculation of a path difference. You know how do you calculate the path difference? Delta x is equals to larger distance minus smaller distance. That is been given from the figure as of your a into sine theta. Now for the first secondary minima, that means at a point P, if I'm talking about secondary minima or secondary maxima, then what should be that condition? Because here we don't have two different slit beta. From one single slit only, all the wavefronts which are been going out are acting as of your secondary wavelength. That means the first wavelet and second wavelet, they are interfering. అవునా కదా, ఇది దీనిలో రాసినప్పుడు చూడండి, this two white lights whatever I'm taking, this parent source, these are destructively going like this and they are interfering right now, isn't it? So there is interference between this first wavefront and second wavefront. Adhe vidhanga third wavefront and fourth wavefront, there is an spherical wavefronts which are going, they are undergoing the interference right now. As they are undergoing the interference because of your single slit, what I'm trying to talk about, we're talking about only either the central maxima, secondary minima, or the secondary maxima part of relation, isn't it? Now see here, first secondary minima. If you tell me, sir, instead of taking dn as lambda, if you take it as of your, like say for example, 3 lambda by 2. Why only lambda? If I'm taking lambda by 2, that also will get, now see, if you're taking this lambda by 2 here right now, see, now this will become lambda by 4 and lambda by 4. That means in between A and C, there is one more part which are again going in the same phase difference. That is the reason I'm telling right now. If I'm taking that one as of your lambda by 2, because lambda is a little bit of more convenient for me. So that is the reason, if you are assuming, that is the reason I'm writing a word here right now. If A sine theta is equals to A sine theta 1 is equals to lambda, that means divide the slit into two equal parts. If I'm taking lambda by 2, then you should also divide the slit into a by what you call that one, two slits, but it will become smaller, still smaller and smaller. In the lambda itself is a smaller, lambda by 2, lambda by 4 తీసుకుంటే ఇంకా smaller అయిపోతుంది. That is the reason approximate value తీసుకోవడానికి we are taking it as of a lambda. That means every point in the upper half, that is nothing but this central point, I'm taking it as of your C beta. So that is nothing but AC. There is a point in the lower half for which the path difference is A by 2. And E blue key, exactly the path difference is how much for me? Lambda by 2 part of relation. Hence, the wavelet from the two halves reaches the point P always in which direction beta? In opposite phases. That means they interfere destructively, producing the minima. That is the reason A sine theta 1, I'm taking it as of your lambda. Is that point clear for everyone beta? Make here your confusion clear. If you have any doubt, you please try to talk to me. I'll help you out with. Otherwise, it will still be a big problem for you in the nearby future. So please try to go through the diagram right now. What I have taken the diagram, all from a single slit, all the wavelets which are been coming out are acting as of your secondary sources. So there is an interference between any dots draw and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That means there are 8 wavelets and there is interference because of that 8 wavelets in the given condition. Clear for everyone? Okay, now see, whatever are above, below is also same. That means they are destructively interfering. One positive lambda, another one is negative lambda. So the net will be at the point P will become how much for me? 0. So that is the reason for secondary minima. If I am taking the path difference lambda, A to C it is lambda by 2, C to B is also there is a lambda by 2. That means above it is a plus, below will become for me minus. So the net path which is reaching on the screen will become how much for me? 0. That is the reason I'm writing here. Every point in upper half AC, there is a point in the lower half, like exactly the mirror image of that one, for which the path difference will be equal to how much? Lambda by 2. Hence, the wavelet from the two halves reaches the point P always in the opposite phase. So they interfere destructively to produce a minima. Now, what is the condition for the first dark fringe to produce the minima beta? So d sine theta 1 must be equal to lambda. So second dark fringe, if I'm taking right now, if I'm talking about a second dark fringe, that means a sine theta 2 must be equal to how much for me? 2 lambda. Now see, if I'm taking 2 lambda, that means we are trying to divide the slits into how many parts beta? 4. If I'm taking 3, then we'll be trying to divide into your how many parts right now? 6. Like that we need to go on down. So for nth dark fringe, d sine theta n is equal to n lambda, where n should start from your 1, 2, 3. So sine theta n, how much I'm getting right now? N into lambda by small d. As theta is very small, so theta n is equal to n lambda by d, because wavelength of the light also, whatever you are using, is very much lesser than the aperture. So that is the reason sine theta n is equals to your theta n. Is that point clear for everyone beta? Is that the
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
పంపి పరిస్థితి అవరా అర్థమవుతుందా? ఓయ్ మిమ్మల్ని అడుగుతుంది. రెస్పాన్స్ డల్ రెస్పాన్స్.
Yes, sir.
వేవ్ ఆప్టిక్స్ లో చాలా యాక్టివ్ గా ఉన్నారు. వేవ్ ఆప్టిక్స్ రాగానే అందరు డల్ అయిపోయారు. అంతా థియరీ కదా, ఏదేదో నడుస్తుంది. అక్కడ వేవ్స్ ఎట్లా వింటున్నారు? వేవ్స్ కూడా అట్లా అయిపోయిందా పరిస్థితి? మరి అక్కడ వేవ్స్ అంటే కొంచెం అట్లీస్ట్ మ్యాథమెటికల్ క్యాలిక్యులేషన్స్ ఉంటాయి. ఇక్కడ థియరిటికల్ ఈజ్ మోర్ దాన్ ద మ్యాథమెటికల్ క్యాలిక్యులేషన్స్ పార్ట్. ఎనీహౌ, so I hope you're clear with this one. But only best option with you is that means you will be able to get this recording and immediately kuda malla osar meeru as it is ga vinochu. You can listen it twice and thrice. You will get a clarity of the subject when you're reading your S.C. Verma or NCERT. I do my personally request you that you try to read this one from your NCERT before you go for the S.C. Verma. ఎందుకంటే NCERT has given very good explanations related to this one, and wherever some website links are also being given below that one, so you please try to go through the website links and try to see the diffraction phenomena in the 2D and 3D. You will get much clarity related to that one. Okay na? Chalo. Now we got for the minima. Now let us try to talk about the next one. That is nothing but of your position of secondary maxima. Position of secondary maxima. Position of your secondary maximum. Okay. Now see, suppose the point P is a maxima. Then here that sin theta dash must be equal to how much beta? Can you tell me, anyone? A sin theta 1 dash అని పెట్టుకుంటారు. అందుకని అక్కడ theta తీసుకున్నాం కదా ఆల్రెడీ. That must be equal to how much for me? 3 lambda by 2. Why 3 lambda by 2? I'll tell you. See, if you see the diagram right now here, this one is your screen and this one is your aperture. Okay, the ray of light coming from this one is bending like this. So this is the bending like this and this is the bending like this. So there is a central part here also, and this is also one bending for the given condition. Okay na? Chalo. Now if I'm talking about the given condition beta, there are n number of your sources like this in this one. Okay, now this is your A and this is your B. Now what we'll do, we'll drop a perpendicular right now here, and this one is nothing but of your n, and this is nothing but 90, and this one is nothing but theta. This is a slit width of your A, and we are calling B to n as of your path difference. So this path difference, if delta x is equals to 3 lambda by 2, that means at the center, what will be the given condition? Now see. So if I'm taking right now, one part of the slit, if I'm taking here, this will become for me lambda by 2. The another one will become for me how much? Lambda. The next one is 3 lambda by 2. Antena? Is the diagram clear for everyone? How many slits right now? 1, 2, 3, and this one is nothing but 4. If I'm taking this one as of here, this one has 3 lambda by 2. Above one is lambda. Above one is lambda by 2, and above one is nothing but of your lambda 0. Is that condition clear for everyone? That means how many parts we are trying to take here right now? 3 equal parts. 3 equal parts. Can you tell me why 3 equal parts right now? See, why 3 equal parts beta? Why 3 equal parts? If the above and below, if lambda by 2 and lambda by 2 are being meeting on the screen somewhere at a point P, still one lambda will be left out for that one. Now we can divide the slits how many parts beta? 3 by 3 slits. That means the path difference between the two corresponding points of the first two parts will be how much? Lambda by 2 na? And down is also lambda by 2. That will be destructive. The remaining lambda by 2 will be what? A bright point kada? I'll write that point here right now. See, where is this pen here? Okay, the wavelets from the points will interfere destructively for first two parts with lambda by 2 as path difference. Okay, na? However, the wavelet from the third part, third part of slit will contribute to some intensity, forming a secondary maxima. So the intensity of this maxima is much lesser than that of the central maxima beta, isn't it? The intensity of this maxima is much lesser than that of central maxima. అంటే సెంట్రల్ మాక్సిమా కూడా మాక్సిమం దాని పైన పోయే కొద్దీ నీకు ఇంటెన్సిటీ ఏమైపోతుంది, తగ్గిపోతుంది. ఇది చూడన్న, ఈ 3 parts లా above one is lambda by 2 first slit and second slit, lambda by 2. సో డిస్ట్రక్టివ్ ఇంటర్ఫియరెన్స్ అయిపోయిందా? అర్థమైందా నాన్న అందరికి? ఈ డయాగ్రామ్ చూడండి ఒకసారి, ప్లీజ్ ట్రై టు సీ దిస్ డయాగ్రామ్ క్లియర్ఫుల్లీ. సో దిస్ వన్ ఈస్ హౌ మచ్ హ్యావింగ్ lambda by 2, this one is how much lambda by 2. సో డిస్ట్రక్టివ్ ఇంటర్ఫియరెన్స్ అయిపోయిందా ఫస్ట్ వన్? I'll try to write here right now that the slits right now in the given condition into the 3 parts. This is A, B, this one is C, and this one is D. Ante A to C and C to D valla manaku destructive interference adi ayipoyindi, and D to B migilipoyindi kada. The B to E, B to D to B will be right now for me what your constructive interference, ante koncham intensity unna way potundi. Ardhamayindi ee diagram. If I'm taking path difference 3 lambda by 2 beta, I'm dividing the slits into how many parts? 3 parts. అవునా కదా? సో పైన పార్ట్ ఎంత? lambda by 2. బిలో పార్ట్ is also lambda by 2. డౌనర్ పార్ట్ is also how much for me? lambda by 2. అంటే above 2 slits వల్ల there is a destructive interference, but below D to B వల్ల there is a constructive interference. So that is the reason we are taking here the path difference is equals to how much for me? 3 lambda by 2. Clear for everyone? అర్థమైందా లేదా? అరే రెస్పాన్సే లేదు. See, paina dantla manamu we have taken that one as of your lambda, isn't it? That is the reason we divided the slits into 2 parts. Above is lambda by 2, below is lambda by 2, destructive interference, 0 అయిపోయింది. But now in the maxima, we are trying to divide the slits into the path difference itself as a 3 lambda by 2. That means above and below lambda by 2 will get destructive interference. One more is left out, that is lambda by 2. That will be giving me right now what your constructive interference, isn't it? So similarly, the condition for second maxima, maxima will be writing as D into sin theta 2 dash is equals to 5 by 2 into lambda. Okay na? So I can write now for nth secondary maxima or maximum, isn't it? For nth secondary maximum I can write D sin theta n dash is equals to 2n plus 1 into lambda by 2, exactly opposite to the YDSC, where n is equals to 1, 2, 3, go on for the given condition. So from this one I can write here sine theta n dash is equals to 2n plus 1 into lambda by your 2 times of d. If theta is very small, if sine theta n dash is equals to theta n, because wavelength is very lesser than of your small d. So I can write from this one, from this given condition, theta n dash will be equal to your, how much will be? Theta n dash is equals to 2n plus 1 into lambda by 2d. So this is the basic standard formula to be remembered for your maximum in the diffraction point. Clear for everyone? Isn't it? So I can write here right now, intensity of secondary maxima decreases. Intensity of secondary maxima decreases as n increases. Student, oh sorry, then n value perige koddi neeku value of theta will be decreasing part of relation. So that is a thing we need to remember for the given condition. Pi lambda by 2 తీసుకున్నప్పుడు డయాగ్రామ్ ఎలా డ్రా చేస్తారు నన్ను ఎవరైనా హెల్ప్ చేయగలుగుతారా నాకు? చూడండి రఫ్ గా డ్రా చేస్తున్నాను మీకోసం నేను. So that if so this is your screen and here is your slit like this, isn't it? So that means I need to divide this one into how many parts beta? This is 1 here right now, this one is 1. So how many parts right now? This 5 path difference, very good. So this one is nothing but of here, this one is nothing but 5 lambda by 2. అంటే దీనిపైన ఉన్న దానికి ఎంత వస్తుంది? This one will become for me 2 lambda and it become for me 3 lambda by 2, and this one will become for me how much? Lambda, and this one will become for me how much for me? Lambda by 2. Antena? So this one is getting divided into how many parts beta right now? So this one is divided into your 1 2 3 4 5 parts. Clear? Isn't it? So lambda by 2 అన్నిటికి maximum ఏమైపోతుంది? above దానికి below దానికి there will be a destructive interference. One will be left out, because of that one there will be your interference which is happening. So we are dividing this one into how many parts beta? 5 equal parts. 5 equal parts. అర్థమైందా అందరికీ? I hope you got a rough idea related to this one. Exactly opposite to the interference beta. In the diffraction phenomena, secondary minima, we are getting the formula as of here for nth dark fringe. Sin d sin theta n is equals to n lambda. Whereas for the secondary maxima, sin theta n dash is equals to 2n plus 1 into lambda by your 2d part of a relation. Intensity of the secondary maxima decreases as the intensity will be increasing. Is that condition clear? So if I draw the intensity curve for this one beta, one small topic left out, intensity distribution curve. ఇది నేను వైడియస్లీ కూడా డ్రా చేయాలా మర్చిపోయాను, but you can see it from your materials or HC Verma if you are having that, you can see it out from that one. So this one is a straight line like this, and in the y-axis I am taking the intensity. So here I am taking as of your intensity, and here I am taking an angle. So here what is happening is, at the center there will be your maximum first, like this. Then immediately dark, then dark followed by your maxima, then minima, then maxima, then minima, then finally becomes 0. Same here thing is also happening right now. First it will be your right now for me minima, maxima, minima, maxima, minima, go on like that. So it will be decreasing continuously for the given condition. So first one is right now, this one is maxima right now. At what position? 0. Then minimum at what position beta? Lambda by your A. The next one is nothing but how much? 2 lambda by your A. The next one is how much for me? 3 lambda by A. This points, isn't it? Now here this will become for me how much? Minus lambda by A. And this will become for me how much for me? Minus 2 lambda by your A. And this dark point will become for me how much? 3 lambda by your A. Okay, so the intensity of the secondary maxima relating to this one is in the ratio of 1 is to 1 by 21 is to 1 by 61 is to 1 by 121 is to so on. It actually inka chana pedda derivation undi, but that is not there in our syllabus, so don't bother about that derivation. So whatever the knowledge I have given right now, that is more than enough for our understanding and doing of your numericals part. So in the diffraction, at the center we are having the maximum intensity. As you are going further, the intensity slowly decreases and almost all become for me minima part of a relation. Now how do you get this value of a theta beta? I told you the minimum will be at a positions of minimum will be at positions at positions. What is the positions beta? Theta is equals to plus or minus of your n into lambda by d. Okay, ఇక్కడ నుంచి values రాశాను. What it? Clear? అర్థమైంది అందరికి ఇక్కడ వరకు? అర్థమైందా నాన్న?
Yes, sir.
టైం ఉందా ఇక్కడ ఇంకా 8:40 అవుతుంది 6:40 అవుతుంది. Okay, we'll try to do the numericals based on this one in the tomorrow session of a class. After discussing another 2-3 points are there, that is width of the central maxima and secondary minima part deflations. Then we go for the validity of ray optics and Fresnel's distance. Then we'll try to go for the numericals part. And after this one, we are having one more topic that is called as resolving powers. That is also there in a syllabus right now as per the optical instruments conditions. And this will take another 1 week beta. Keep in mind that we'll be doing even till the next week only the diffraction only. So make a habit and make a condition that you try to complete the SC Verma problems first from the YDSC, and then you start the problems of your diffraction. And before you start the problems of diffraction, please try to give a rough study of your NCERT textbook from your books if you are having. If you don't have, you let me know on the WhatsApp group. I'll try to send you the specially the copy of Wave Optics completely NCERT booklet. Okay. Sure. Stop the lecture better now. Take care. Bye.